Good morning everyone. This Rectory project has just gone from 0 to 60 in no time at all. I haven't posted a video for a while, and the reason for that is that there was a period of about 4 weeks where I had to wait for some asbestos contractors to come in to remove some additional asbestos that I'd missed the first time around, so that was very boring. But now that that's done, suddenly all the contractors are descending on me, and it's been so incredibly busy here. I've not really had time to make videos, so I'm going to have a walk around now and show you everything that's going on, and hopefully I can splice in some clips I did make of the work being done. But first of all, let's start in the garden, where my mum has been doing an absolutely fantastic job of just clearing everything. And hopefully you can see behind me already how nice and clear and green it's all looking. So let's go and have a look at that first. So the main thing that's been happening in the garden is that these big areas of weeds have just been cleared. This was previously sort of waist height stinging nettles here and other weeds, and my mum's cut all of that back down to ground level, so I'm hoping we can stay on top of that a bit more easily. And the other major thing is that this area in the middle of the lawn, which was previously all completely overgrown, has now all been cut back. So we've just got this one bush in the middle, which I rather like. But other than that, this has all been cut back, and we'll probably dig all of this over and regrass it to make it part of the lawn again. And apart from that, my parents have just been doing a great job keeping on top of this grass, which is looking really nice now this year. And over at the far end of the garden, I had a Groundworks guy here with a mini digger, and he's dug out an area here, which again was just weeds and little self-seeded trees that shouldn't be there. And over this end is going to end up being our vegetable garden, we think. So this is all ready now, and again we just keep on top of this, make sure it stays neat, ready for when we want to use it. But for now, let's head back to the house and see what's been going on there. So I've had a 2-man Groundworks team here with a mini digger, and the main thing that they've been doing is digging a trench along the front of the house and putting in these new manholes. So there's one here, and then symmetrically-ish at the other end of the house, here's another one. And they don't look very pretty at the moment, but eventually these will be adjusted to the right height and the tarmac will be redone, or gravel, or whatever it is we decide to put along the front of the house. And the reason that those have been put in is to add new waste pipes. So as you probably know, we're moving the bathrooms from the centre of the house to the sides of the house. So this big white pipe, or this whole series of big white pipes at the front, are all going to be removed. They're all disconnected now anyway. So those will be removed. And what we're going to have instead, I can show you now. So from this manhole, a new waste pipe goes in under the wall. And then inside, it pops up to a waste stack. So this pipe that emerges from the floor will go all the way up through this room, which is the utility room. So waste from the washing machine will be able to go in there. And that will then head up through the ceiling and it'll go to the guest bathroom, which is above here, to a toilet there and a shower and everything. And then that same pipe will finally head all the way up to the attic floor where there's a third bathroom. And if I just run down to the other end of the house quickly, we've got very much the same arrangement at the other end. The new waste pipe comes in underneath the wall. And then heads straight up. And this one will go up to the toilet of the master bathroom above. So that's probably the biggest job that I was worried about getting done in terms of sort of destruction and upheaval. So that's all great that that's been done. And as you can see outside, there certainly is a bit of repair work to sort out in terms of making this front good again. But we won't be doing that immediately because I think this is going to get dug up again at some point to build a new drainage channel. The driveway floods quite badly, so in order to fix that, we're going to take out these porches. We're going to build a brand new drainage channel all the way along the front and then eventually build up new porches on top, but it's not really time for that yet. That's something for later in the year or possibly even after we move in. So continuing on, the other big thing that's been going on is that the plumbers have started work. In fact, before we get to the plumbers, I want to talk about the downstairs toilet because I think this will be quite obvious. If we look in here, we've got a brand new floor in here. So Dave and I just spent a whole day completely ripping out and replacing the floor in this room because for whatever reason, this one floor in particular was completely ruined. It was full of woodworm and basically when we started to lift floorboards up, the joists just disintegrated underneath and just all completely fell apart. Now, I don't know if it's obvious, but let's zoom in a bit. There is some very serious woodworm in here. Some of these joists, which form the floor above, are in such poor condition that they just crumble to dust. And as you can see at the far end, one of the joists, floor joists, just fell down when they took the asbestos off. So we've got a brand new floor in here. And now I can get on to the plumbing. So the plumbers have started in this room and they've put these new copper pipes going right the way up. They start here and they carry on up all the way through the house right up to the attic. And it's very similar to the arrangement that was here originally, but because that was blocking the hallway, we've basically rearranged it so that the pipes are now in here. And this will all be boxed in. There'll be a hot water cylinder sitting in this room as well. So this is basically the center of where all the plumbing happens. And if we look down, we can see that this is where the pumps are as well, directly below. So that's very convenient for getting everything hooked up. Redoing this floor has led me to have to do quite a lot of research about flooring. We've got quite a few decisions to make about flooring. The first thing is that even though there's some reasonably nice floorboards around the house, we're now quite certain that by the time the plumbing and the electrics and the insulation are all done, those floorboards are certainly not going to be in a state where they'd look nice exposed. So what we're going to do is we're going to either repair those floorboards where we can, but then cover them up, or in a lot of cases, and certainly in the case of this room, we're going to have to start again from scratch. And what that will mean is we'll be putting down some thick plywood all the way across the floors, and then that will give us a nice solid base to choose what we want to build on top of it. We're hoping we can have some kind of tiles downstairs in a lot of the rooms, and then more carpet upstairs, but that's a decision we're still working on. But for now, I'll head upstairs and show you some more of the plumbing that's been happening. Here we are upstairs on the first floor now. That's the middle floor. And we can see now the floor here is absolutely ruined, but we've got some nice new copper pipe going in. There's two sets of pipes, basically. One is for the heating. So the system we use here is a hot water heating system. So there's a pipe that takes hot water to all the radiators, and then a pipe that takes it back to the boiler again. And then there's another set of pipes which are for the hot and cold water, for the taps, for the baths, things like that. So that's all in now on this middle floor. We've got pipes going to both bathrooms. We've got pipes, you can see them popping up through the floor for the radiators. So we're going to have some column radiators everywhere. Certainly not time to get those put in yet, but we've been choosing colours for those. I'll see if I can show a quick picture of the radiators that we're going to be using. And they've done exactly the same thing up on the attic floor. So heading all the way up to the top. Very much the same thing. They've taken the floor up, they've put this new copper pipe in, hot and cold water, and then a pair of pipes for the radiators to all of the rooms. And then the final thing to show you while I'm up here is that this wall is now fully out. Whoops. I was able to take the final vertical studs out of this wall because it turns out they weren't load bearing. And so now we've just got this sort of triangular beam set up, and we're going to leave that as it is, try and decorate it a bit more nicely. And then we'll have this big open plan hallway space. It's not really useful for anything, but it's just a lovely big space, and it lets the light in up here so much better than before. So that's just about it for what's going on so far. I'm very happy with the groundworks, with the new waste pipes, with the new heating and hot and cold water pipes. That's all fantastic. And they'll be continuing work on that on the ground floor, hopefully, in the next few days. And in the coming days, I've got a carpenter coming. He's going to start work rearranging the staircase. That's actually starting tomorrow, which is exciting. And finally, in a week's time, I've got the electrician starting. So he'll just be pulling in cables, ready to wire everything up. So that's about it. I hope I haven't been gone for too long, and I hope to be back much sooner with the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.